Daddy's got to set up his dosing pump and then he'll set that up for you, okay? Okay? Now... Hello, novice reef keepers. Hello. Hello, novice reef keepers. How are you today? Today we're going to be installing the dosing pump ×4 by Reeffactory. But before I get to that, I want to talk about some problems that I've been having with the tank. So as many of you may know, I got these top lids with my aquarium, and I don't want to say anything more about that except I did run an ICP test to see what was going on, because I was having a lot of issues in my aquarium. I lost a torch. I had about 17 gonnies close up and they weren't open for about a month. I lost some colour in my aquapora and things weren't looking right. So I want to talk about the ICP test, and I'll show you in a minute what was on there and a little bit about how I fixed it. So now I'll come in real close. So as you can see, that's what I'm just talking about. They were all closed, so I put them at the back just because they annoyed me. Some haven't. The fish will move out of the way. Some haven't opened back up. Some are opening up. Most of them are opening up. These are starting to get their extension back. There's some stragglers like this red glitter, but really, really good. I mean, this acro here, it's colouring back up, but the tips, I don't know if you can see it, had a little bit of burn or something on it. And this one had some damage. But other than that, you can see some more damage in this one. They're coming back looking great. These things happen. I mean, the lid definitely didn't help. I'm glad that now most of that is out. As you can see, I've made sure, apart from the UV, it is a great looking lid. But yeah. Another thing I'm also doing at the moment is I've taken off the CO2 scrubber now. That's just a pure interest thing by me. I wanted to see how much it was doing. Just to show you, I've got the outlet there outside of the tank, and just to show you, my pH normally runs at about 8.4 at this time of day, and you can see it's 7.95. so I'm definitely going to be putting some more CO2 meter in that right now, because that is a drastic change. Another quick update of the tank. Everything's growing. This pink digi started off as a frag, well, still frag, but it's taken off. A lot of these acros are now really growing out. This one here was a little bit, I took off a wild piece. It's quite special. You can see the stags and the Dallas, they're all got new branches and are taken off. So everything's looking really, really good. That's the Tropicana Anacora. All the digis are taken off, so it wasn't a full problem, but for someone as experienced as me, I don't lose coral. I know that might sound a bit cocky, but I just don't. Unless they're new and they're acclimating. So when this happens, that's quite drastic for me, like 17 of them and a torch. So I quickly did an ICP and it came back with tin. And as you can see, a lot of those gonnies are now opening back up. Some haven't opened back up, and I hope that they will. But unfortunately, sometimes with gonny, they'll close up for little things and then slowly open back up, and sometimes not open up at all. As for the torch, it happened quite quick. It bailed out. It was one that I had for about a year with no issues. It was growing and had an extra head. No real reason. Some of the acro went brown. They've coloured back up now. So the ICP test, as I'll show you right now, you can see a lot of tin, which normally would tell me, okay, you have some tin or some aluminium or some other heavy metals, but there might be some rust in the tank. But as everything is quite new, I cleaned my wave makers, I went through the sump, I've made sure I haven't used any metals and anything like that. This isn't my first rodeo. And it was only one element, which was tin, which is really, really weird. Everything else, as you can see, was in check. So my first thought was maybe it was the UV that I saw coming out of the lid. Thankfully now I've washed most of it out that I can, but maybe that dripped back in and that was high in tin. I did a lot of Google searching and I couldn't exactly see anything about UV paints or paints having tin, but you know, it was really weird that tin was on there. It didn't really explain anything. The other thing that was wrong was it had high iodine. That was my mistake. I totally have to own up to that. I was dosing iodine off my last ICP test where it was low, but before that I was using I was using the aquaforest, but I wasn't putting trace elements in the aquaforest. So recently I started using Component Strong, which has iodine in it, and potassium and some other things that I used to dose by hand. I didn't stop the iodine, so it went quite high. But these things happen. It could have been the iodine, it could have been the tin. I'd say it was more the heavy metals. So I'll quickly just talk about how I fixed it. So there's this product by Seachem called Croupersorb. And pretty much it's for tanks that you use copper in. It removes the copper, but also it removes other heavy metals. So I thought this would be a great thing for tin. Now I haven't run a second ICP test, but I've been running this for 3 weeks. The moment I put this in, probably a week later, the gonnies started opening up, things started colouring back up, and things looked a lot happier. At that point, I decided to do a big reset of the tank. That's a 70% water change. And how I did that was I got a big IBC at the front, which I'll show you. Righty. A big IBC with about 1,000 litres in it. I had about 500 litres. I put a big 1,000 watt heater in there and a pump, and I heated it up to the exact temperature of the tank, and I made sure I tested it and made sure that it was the exact same as the tank. So the transfer went well, nothing slimed up, and nothing was an issue. I'll show you a video of how it looked with everything out of the water right now. Since then, I have done nothing else but feed the fish, did a test. Test came up good, the fish seem healthy, the corals are colouring up, and the gonnies are opening back up. So that's how I corrected it. So pretty much a full reset, like a big water change, not like to start it over again. The Croupersorb in a reactor. I'll show you the reactor, just how it's running. It's a bit dirty, but you can just see it there. It's with the phosphate mine, so nothing special. And what was coming out of the skimmer was black. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the metals, but really, really good stuff. Alright guys, so now let's open this up and we'll install it on the tank and we'll have a bit of a look about how this is, and then later on I'll do an update in a couple months time. Da-da-da. So here it is guys, so classic Reef factory style. Check this out. We got the million instructions. Save the trees guys, come on, save the trees. So we just need one of them, the rest of it we'll get rid of, but the process is quite easy with the app today, which you'll see. We'll take that off, and there we got, I just am a sucker for this sort of, they definitely give you a lot of dosing line, just a sucker for the coloured line, like the blue, and the green, orange, they're really, really cool. So, I mean, apart from them being cool, they're great because you can do like KH orange, you know, calcium green, mag blue, or whatever, white, right, aminos. And then you could actually, if you need to clean, you know, the KH line, you can then pull it back out. So, that's the actual practicality of it. But I just think they're cool. So here's the actual unit. So let's have a look at the actual unit. So my first impression of it is it's very skinny and it's very heavy. My initial idea is to, let me just open this up. So my initial idea is to actually mount it here and then have the dosing bottles there, but it's quite heavy, so we'll see how we go with that. This is the conveyor that I'm currently running. I am running a single head doser. So we'll be yeeting that out and we'll be replacing that. I don't want to put it on the side. I really want to put it like this. I just think that's cool. We'll see how we go with that. I don't have anything to do that today, but it's quite heavy, so it's quite heavy duty. It's neat. First impressions are good. So in there you got the heads. Typically, same same. You can replace these maybe yearly or whatnot. In here we just need the Aussie plug and the power adapter. And these 4 heads, which look pretty good quality. Let's just quickly get rid of this box. We'll open up these heads and we'll have a quick look at them. So quickly looking at the head here. Looks well built. Nothing loose, you can pop it out, well lubricated. Nice bits in there. Nothing's gonna leak. Metal, so not plastic shafts. Nice bits of metal in there. That's good. What do we have on the side here? Okay, so they have used plastic here. It might be so it doesn't wear out the head. Most of them are plastic. A, B, C, so you know which channel's which. And I like that arrow. See, so it tells you which way it spins. I know it's something simple. They should spin anti-clockwise. But just seeing it visually like that is good. So let's put this all together and we'll see. And you twist and it pops into place. And then you want to pull off these little rubber grommets. Like that. And I'll go ahead and put the rest on. Alright, so I just found it. So if anyone's wondering what this magnet's for, you rub it on the top of the unit or the side. There should be a reset. Anyway, wherever it says reset, you rub that little magnet on there and it resets it back to factory. Alright guys, so it's set up. So what I've decided was A, blue, KH, B, green, calcium, yellow, C, magnesium, and D is going to be for my amino. Actually, speaking of amino, how about I quickly show you what amino... Oh, this is the amino I use, and this stuff is absolute dynamite. Amino. Foreign Marin makes a great amino. So first thing I want to do is I want to pull the cameo out. Guys, so there's the old doses. Nothing wrong with this, it was great, but obviously the upgrade. Now you can see it's all installed here. So mag, calcium, KH. So eventually I want to flip this around, mount it up there, but I didn't have any double-sided tape for now, so that is how it is for now. The cords then obviously run into a dosing holder, which is very important to use a dosing holder. Just here. So we want to set it up, then we want to bleed the lines, and we want to calibrate. I won't show you all 4, but I'll show you how to quickly set it up. Fill one line, calibrate one line. So what I've done is I've written it down the serial on the back of the unit, because with the new way you can scan it, but it's a bit hard to get in there and video and that. So for this whole exercise, I'm just going to write in the serial number. So let's jump into the app now and I'll show you how to do it. Alright guys, so you just want to jump into your app. As you can see, that's my KH keeper. My dosing pump, the single one, is now offline. So I just want to get rid of that. So, bye-bye dosing pump. Now you want to add device at the bottom right-hand corner there. Oh, there's the smart tester that's coming out. So we want to choose the dosing pump pro. I actually haven't seen that. You want to choose the pump you got, so the 3 head, the single head, or the 4 head. So we've got the 4 head, so quickly click that, and we'll click next. Next thing you want to do, I'll just quickly do my internet. So you want to input your Wi-Fi then click next. So this next thing, normally you can scan, and then scan the serial, but I can't do that right now, so we're just going to quickly actually type it in. D's. It's now all automatic, so I don't have to do anything but tell it to connect. It's now connected. Connect to my internet. I mean, this takes about 10 seconds, and look at that, it's done. So finish. And look at that, didn't even take 60 seconds. So there's that dosing pump. We'll now assign it to there. We'll choose my work. I'll click OK. There's the dosing pump then, which my dosing pump's number 3. So here's a nice little trick. If you write a number in front, that's a good way to sort out your pumps. You can see now it's the 3rd thing right there. So bang. So I want to change exactly to what they are. So pump C is alkalinity. Pump B is calcium. And pump A is magnesium. And then pump D is none at the moment, maybe amino. Actually, just for the hell of it, I'll write amino, just like that. So let's set up all. So what do we have here? So liquid amount for alkalinity, it was 190 at the moment. It had dropped a lot. B for calcium was 300 ml, and my mag was 50 ml. 0, 24 doses a day. 5 minutes for the chemical interference. Start time 0. All day. Okay. We then want to click the thing telling how much we've got. So we've got 5 litres of each. Save. Calcium, we've got 5 litres. So we'll just quickly go through and do all these. Alkalinity, we've got 5 litres. So down the bottom you can see it says calibrate, begin calibrate and fill circuit. So for this I will tell you when I'm clicking begin calibrate and when I'm clicking fill circuit, but I'll do it in the other view where you can see. What we do is when we click fill circuit, that's just going to allow the line to start pumping liquid. So you can see I just clicked fill circuit on calcium. So it's, I don't know if you can see in the video, but it is slowly just drawing liquid, and I'm going to do that to every single pump until they're fully full of liquid. Excuse me, little man. And you're going to break everything, huh? Going to break all daddy stuff. So I'm just going to do fill circuit until the liquid comes out the other end, and then we'll calibrate. So to calibrate the unit you need 3 things. 2 cups. So one to collect the liquid out of the, when it drips out of the tube, dosing. And a cup and a pair of scales. Now you always want to use scales to measure out your liquids. You don't want to use syringe or anything like that because it's not accurate. It's always approximately where this is accurate. So what you want to do is you want to turn it on with this on top, and that will give you the mils. We now want to walk over to this and we want to click calibrate, and we want to count, fill this jug up with liquid from the lines. All right, now we got our liquid from the unit. What you want to do is turn it on, wait for it to 0. You want to pour that in, wait for it to settle. It's 8.88. So now we want to jump to the app and we want to type that in. Let's jump over to the app. 8.88. Okay. Choose the period. 1 month's good, but I do it over 3 months. Bang. So now that is now calibrated. So that's it, guys. So you repeat that for 4